better of an AWPer that he can just walk out into his scope and still come out first, that's going to be a huge problem. How do you maneuver around that? That means your own AWP, as long as Guardian has one, can't cover a lot of the angles as long as that potential for Guardian to walk up and just take the head off your own AWPer is there. So it's going to be very tricky times indeed if that is the case. For now, it looks like we are still in the warm-up stage. One extra joining. Darix, I believe, was the last one to connect. And match restarting implies it's probably going to be the knife round.
Yeah, it is, and you made a very valid point. Khartoum is going to have to step up big because this is an AWP-centric map. Like we say it every time, Dust 2, you need a good AWPer, and you need to be able to... you need the AWPer in form because it is a map where AWPs can be so damn effective, and especially when you're up against a team that has an effective AWP, it can become really tricky. And there are ways around it, you know, like you can try and push to places where it's kind of a shorter range, but pretty much around the whole map, you will end up having to challenge a long-range choke point at some time, you know. Like, even when you push short, which is called short for a reason, it's pretty small and contained, but even when you get up those stairs, you're quite exposed crossing over to the A side from long. If you go long, that's obviously called long. It's like a really long-range crossover point. So yeah, the AWPs are very, very important. Crowdham's going to step up. He's got to step up, sorry. And the rest of mTw also. And I think the start is really important here. Having just been battered 16-4, they're going to have to come into this one refreshed. They're going to have to start well and, you know, get a few rounds under their belt and try and, like you said, reignite their self-belief. Otherwise, Navi are just going to run away with this one also. And Navi is starting on the easier side as well, so that's going to make mTw's life even harder. We'll just have to see who wins the pistol and the first buy round and just go from there.
Well, mTw did actually win the knife round here.
Oh, did they?
Yeah, they did.
Okay, I didn't see that.
They may have chosen to go with the CT side, which is something we see a few teams doing. Might be we're also waiting on the server to swap the teams over. So, could be interesting. Could be the time for mTw to shine. This is their map. This is their time. The pistol round, they've had the chance to reset, and if they lose this map, then they're going to be out of it. So they need to build up their momentum. They need to build it up now. And Navi also want to crush the hopes, dreams, souls of all their opponents that they face off against. Not a good way to start here for them, though, on the side of mTw. Losing a man to Guardian straight off the bat as Navi get control of middle, or around that area. And are they going to get onto short is really the next question. Zeus poking around in a one-on-one with Asmo, firing some shots blind. Nothing doing. However, here comes the push onto the B side.
Outlandish setup from mTw actually, and NK's doing great work getting 3 already with his USPS. Now just Zeus. He does have the name of a god, but I don't really know if he's got it within him to get this clutch. It would have to be godlike. It's 1 on 3, 50 seconds on the clock, so that's not really an issue at this point. The issue is the bomb is down and well within the grasp of mTw. It's in their hands. They can see it. They're going to literally stood over it, so he's going to have to kill a couple of players and get the bomb here. Zeus, what's he got in his locker? Well, we know he's got plenty, but I just can't see him doing this, honestly. Isolate the one-on-ones and go from there. It does tag up MNL, but yeah, NK's going to finish off with his 4th in the round, by the way. So great stuff from him and a fine start from mTw. If you don't mind, I'll just elaborate what I was saying about the outlandish setup. They basically left A completely. They had 1 member on short. They had 2 on mid, who pushed aggressively into lowers, and then they had 2 on B. So a very, very B and mid-centric hold, and it exposed them completely at A, but it certainly strengthened their B and mid defense, and that's actually where Navi went. So a bit of a risky strat, but a great decision. It paid off for them, 1-0.
Well, right now, Navi in no rush, it seems, to be getting anything done. They may actually have taken advantage of that setup you mentioned before. 1 man on A is going to be Klauterhumpen, and I can see no actual gun, but from the sound of it and the words written on the screen, he has got a FAMAS. Not a bad gun for Holden. Good as any other rifle. Well, good. It's as good as any other second-rate rifle. But it looks like for now that Na'Vi have been pushed away from that potential weakness, and it looks like Na'Vi in general are actually getting cut down in a couple of places now. One man left, and it is Guardian, but he hasn't got his favorite gun. However, he did manage to still win an aim duel using a Glock against a FAMAS. That will be an expensive replacement for mTw, but they still win the round. It was still guns versus none. This is going to be the crucible for mTw.
Yeah, they only buy here. They didn't get the bomb down in either of the rounds, and they're buying up. So this is unexpected, you know, from mTw's point of view. So that's the merit of doing it. You catch your opponent off guard, but they've re-equipped themselves fairly well. Only 2 FAMAS picked up, so they're in a good position to deal with this. Let's see if they can. Two good rounds actually. So good start for mTw. I said that's what they needed. That's what they got. So let's hope, for the sake of neutrality and a good viewer experience, that they do actually do better in this map and they bring it closer, or win it and we get a third map. But Zeus is going to open up onto KQ, and C's is also going to take down Kalkampen and another from C's onto MNL, and this spells disaster here for mTw. The man on B is just going to be taken out without doing anything, and Zeus finds ahead of Asmo as well. So, you know, they buy 5 AKs, they don't drop 1. They make it look very, very easy. Scary signs.
Yeah, that's such a repetition though of what we saw on the last map. mTw just could not match up. If they're on equal footing, they always lose, which is obviously a disaster now, because having lost, now Na'Vi have the guns and they do not. So it's not only not an equal footing, it's an unequal footing against them. Restart going to be the man pushing forward first through long doors, and they have got control of short as well. It's Guardian sneaking around, gets himself a kill. 3 men down, 2 men remaining, 1 man remaining. MNL will get his kill onto Guardian, so you know that's a small benefit, small little spark. Zeus is going to take no prisoners. He pushes down into CT, gets that kill, leaving mTw feeling probably a little lost, probably a little defeated, but also a little bit more flush with cash, so they may actually be able to get something done. They have at least got the armament. Yeah,
they've got the AWP as well, so Krauthampen's going to be AWPing. Let's see if he can step up. We called out that he had to, you know, so if you could get going with the AWP, that could actually tip the balance towards mTw, but he's going to be up against Guardian, who does have the AWP as well for the first time, so it's going to be interesting to see how they fare. Look at this push into B tunnels. Really aggressive, and Guardian missing the second shot. Did land the first though, and he gets the second. That quick scoping, it's just a joy to watch. Guardian just picking off 2 like it was nothing, and that's going to give them the entrance to the B bomb site if they choose, and of course they choose. They're going to be going in there, getting the bomb down, and probably winning the round. mTw not even going to go for it. They're going to be saving.
Yeah, you can't fault them for that decision. There's just, what do you do against a situation like this? It's not like you can try and retake it. They've got enough people to reasonably defend those guns they've got, and they're so poor. So strapped for cash. Zeus, he's going to be the one to poke around, and Na'Vi in general, they're not having any of this. They're saving Lark. This is not allowed. There are 5 people converging. They've left the bomb completely unattended because they feel very confident in it. Krauthampen, however, is going to get the first one, and they are going to push in through the long doors, take down 1, but it's probably still worth it from Na'Vi there. They lost a 2 for 1 at the end there, but they can rebuy, whereas mTw, they're left with just that one. There's 2 weapons that they saved.
Yeah, a big save though. Like the AWP's still in play, so that could definitely have a bearing. But it almost feels like, I don't know, Navi just looked too strong. Zeus opening up onto Asmo again, and that was the M4. That wasn't just a pistol. It's not like they were just bowling over an eco frag there. Asmo had a gun. You know, you would have expected him to at least get a frag there, but he just got destroyed without really getting anything done. QK is on a mission to salvage that rifle. He's going to be challenged by Zeus though, doing great damage, but not able to find the frag. And here comes Edward from behind, takes his head off, and now they're going to be pushing up towards short with the bomb. So the A bomb site is theirs, and it really just seems wherever they want to go, they go, and they're not having too much resistance being put up against them. So Yeah, early days, but having just seen a map that ended 16-4, I'm getting kind of flashbacks. And one would expect Navi to be the favourites in this match anyway. I was just hoping for an even game. But yeah, early signs in Dust 2, very much a positive one if you're supporting Navi or you've bet skins. I'm sure most people will have bet skins on Navi. So it's certainly going to be there around again. It's going to be 4-2. Let's see if Cartman can save the AWP again, because that'd be a nice little victory if he could.
Realistically, I am still here. It just occurred to me that my microphone was muted, and just at the end there, Krautenhumper got himself killed. That was very... It's just sitting in that position there to hold on to that AWP, and you can see how desperate they are to have an AWP by the fact that he now has no armor. But sitting in that position, he had to basically just kill them all as they came. They had so much time to play with to hunt him down. So little to lose by doing so.
Asmo with a nade out. He got the frag, but I thought that was going to end very, very badly. I'm surprised Edward didn't get that frag, but Asmo did. So 5 plays 4. mTw, they've got to step up their game. They've got to change something up. They can't just sit back and try and go for the standard setups, because we've seen on the 1-on-1 aim drills, on the 2-on-2, you know, the kind of standard plays, the CT defense, it just doesn't work for them. It hasn't worked for them yet. Didn't work for them in Mirage. You know, it's time to change something up. Maybe go mega aggressive or try and stack. But if they keep being just predictable and normal, it's not going to work out for them.
Yeah, I often say play it slow and play it standard if you want to try and give yourself the best chance, but when you have such poor chances by default, you have serious problems. Right now, of course, though, that is not so much the case. There are 2 members down on Navi, or sorry, 2 members left on Navi, and that means they're going to have work to do here. Can they actually get it, though? They are short now. That call will be coming out at this point. mTw Guardian actually does not get the first shot. NK has also taken out Starix now. So Guardian versus the world. And it is going to be mTw winning out on that. 3-4. And a little bit of a budgetary problem for Guardian himself, but the rest of his team is actually in pretty good shape economically.
Yeah, so 3-4, and mTw brought up again. Wait, did I just blank? They just won that round, didn't they? Sorry. Forgive me. They've still got the AWP. Actually, they've gone for a second AWP on QKs. That's interesting. That is something a little bit different. You know, I said they need to change it up, and that is a little bit of a change up. That isn't the setup that you'd see on a lot of teams. Some teams, notably Mouse Sports, Titan on occasion, the old Titan actually. Obviously, they've changed the lineup, so I don't know if they still go for that. Guardian does take down MNL with a lovely flick. Supreme reaction all day long. Guardian, I could just watch him for hours and hours, because I never tire of seeing how quick he is with that gun. But yeah, and he did get the opening frags. That's going to make it the advantage going their way. They're just hanging around long. They're just seeing if they can poke their way in there. They've gone into long doors. They're going to be challenging for long control in just a second. Asmo is the man defending, and he's in a bit of a strange position. And Carlton has come from behind. Gets 2, gets I thought he got that third. He didn't get that third. Edward took the head off him before he could get the third, but bringing it back to a 3-on-3, great flank, really nice individual play from Carlton. Now Navi, they're kind of stuck in a weird position, because their position was completely compromised there. So mTw know where they are. NK's going to catch Edward completely off guard as well. It's going to take him out. In the meantime, Navi they've made their way to the B bomb site, and they're going to get this bomb down. So it's going to be a retake situation. If mTw don't win this now, they're going to be kicking themselves.
Well, hey, remember this? You made the call. They needed to go for some unconventional play. The bomb is down, though, and this is a hard site to assault. It's going to actually be Navi that pushes out, leaving it in a 1-on-1 now. Can NK actually get anything done? His time is running short. He's blocked off one of the entrances. Will he win the duel? No! And Zeus has the advantage, gets the kill. It's 3-5 for Navi now. Another eco most likely incoming for mTw, so let's call it 3-6 probably. It looked like they could do it there, but Navi were just a little bit too slippery. And they are wildly aggressive in how they defend their bomb ponds.
Yeah, Zeus just peeking out, taking his head off. Carlton is going to catch C's. Lovely play again. He is stepping up. You know, we said he needed to, and he is. He's playing pretty well. And he gets the opening pick for his team with the pistol. So a nice frag. But yeah, that was their chance really. mTw. They could have got that round. And if they don't convert situations like that, they're just not going to have a hope in hell. They need to win those 2-on-2 situations, you know. Because they're not going to come often, in my opinion. I think Navi, for the most part, are going to just see out these rounds with ease. As I say that, Crowdham gets another frag. Finally killed by Zeus, but having got 2 already, he's done his job well and truly, especially since he only had a pistol. So nice stuff from him. NK takes down Zeus as well. That's the bomb dropped also. Asmo's going to spot one in middle. Can he get that frag? No, he can't. Edward gets 2 as well. Under third, Edward, lovely play from him. It was all looking so good for mTw, but Edward said, nah, not today. They just gets all the frags, and that's going to be 3-6 after all.
Still, that's not a bad, like, purely eco round there. They were just running at him with P250s and seeing what they could get for them. So yeah, really, really good on that front. It does, of course, mean, though, that they didn't get the actual round, which is what they've been so desperately clawing for so long. mTw, see if they can get anything done here. They've got rifles, they've got that AWP once again, having sacrificed the armor, but it looks like Navi are... Well, they have a lot of options for themselves right now. Seized is being up on short with Zeus. Nobody actually on the site for mTw. If Navi realize that could become a serious problem for them, they are going to get smoked off here, so probably going to hold them for now. Unless they choose to just go through. Flashes backwards, a wing and a prayer, but of course it's actually going to work in their favor. No one on the site, no one for Navi to kill, admittedly, but they get control. They are now on the defense. That is such an advantage for them, especially when they kill MNL as well. And now the bomb plant comes down. Also worth bearing in mind, Starix may show up at the least expected moment for mTw. And they've got to try and do this retake, but it's going to be really tough.
It's not good because they're not challenging it short at all. They're going to go from CT and long, so it's not going to work out. And they're 2 of them drop with these. So, I mean, bad setup again. The idea behind that setup is they play for the retake. So essentially they're going to give you the bomb site as the remaining members do drop. So essentially they get not the bomb site. Yeah, well, yeah, effectively the bomb site. They give up control of short in expense for actually holding long. So you secure long by putting 2 people there, but you say, all right, you can take short, but we'll just retake it. We'll come and get it back after you plant the bomb. But the retake was just not up to snuff. It wasn't very good at all.
Yeah, it's that problem where they keep getting slaughtered every time they try and, you know, shoot the enemy at the same time they're being shot at.
Yeah, they need to challenge short as well as long, in my opinion. You can't... Oh. Nice, actually, from Edward.
Ray.
It's just Eco Cobra frags, though, so it should be their round. I'm not going to get too excited. Cartman does take down Edward, but he should be killed, so...
I gotta respect Krautenumber's pistol rounds, though. When he's ecoing, he's almost as dangerous as when he's got an AWP. He seems to be getting quite a few kills with just, like, his USP or whatever else he's got. And obviously, it's still... you know, really, really hard to get a decent KDA when you're losing this many rounds, but he's managed to get to a neutral point, or very slightly positive, I suppose, thanks to the assist. But, of course, it's all moot, as long as he doesn't get any rounds with his team now. Are Navi doing anything? Yes, they are. They are killing the star player of their opponent team. Not the ideal start for mTw. Navi here. Spraying into the smoke on mid. Throwing out a flashbang here and there. Looking maybe to go short. Moment though, like they're just having to wait it out.
A mid be split right now would be the best thing they could do. If they could smoke off CT, then they'll just isolate NK on his own, which is exactly what they're doing. This is going to be seriously tough if NK wants to hold this. He's going to push into tunnels, which is a very good idea, actually. He takes down C's, so good play from NK. And that's going to allow him to kind of just, you know, make sharp in tunnels and just hide there. And then let the rotate come in, and then he'll initiate the pincer. So great play from NK, but the rest of his teammates all very, very tagged. And now Guardian just going to work, getting one. QK Mantis answers back straight away, though. So a 2-on-3, but the health still... pretty bad for NK, and they've smoked him off in the tunnels, which is a nice little touch from Navi.
Oh.
There's Edward from behind. He's going to take off his head.
Yeah.
And, it's not going to happen for mTw, but a nice effort on the part of NK. I liked what he did. Something we should point out at this juncture, it is a CT-sided map. So if mTw get a few more rounds, say get to 5 or 6, it's kind of an average scoreline. So they're not out of it. Yeah, if they can manage to get, you know, buck up their ideas and get a few rounds on the board, they could still give themselves a bit of hope. Obviously, they'll have to win the pistol round in the next half. But, you know, we're probably not giving them enough hope at this point. Navi, they just look very, very strong, yes. But mTw, they could step it up, get a few rounds. And, you know, their T side might be really great. So, you know, I certainly hope for that. But we'll just have to wait and see.
Yeah, indeed. And now it's going to be just a matter of claw what you can. We always say it, when a team is behind, you just take it one round at a time. Croydon Humper goes down. 4 versus 5. Navi angling towards B. They've got 2 angles specifically. NK, though, doing some work for his team. Getting that kill. Equalizing it up. And they get another. MNL takes Zeus. Can they get more? All 3 Navi members are in the same place, and they may actually just be about to get flashed as they push in. It's going to be Edward, though, facing away. Do not want to let them get established here, mTw. You really don't want to let them get on the site, but you also don't want to go jumping through the window into their crosshairs. Now it's a 2-on-3 retake scenario. And we've seen these before. They don't favor teams that have been performing on an equal level. However, okay, no, not however. Asmo got in, got 1 kill, and then dropped. Thought he might be able to get some more, but didn't happen that one.
Yeah, so Navi on 10, and mTw seem to be struggling here. If they could get the remaining 2, like I say, there's still maybe a light at the end of the tunnel that they could somehow find, but I don't think they've got the map to that light just yet. They're going to have to really dig deep to find it. Navi with something interesting. They're not even going to be bothering towards mid at all. They're going to set up for a B push here. mTw's defense would probably like that, actually, to be honest. Actually, QK takes down Guardian. One of the first times Guardian hasn't won the AWP duel. So good start from mTw. Let's see what they can do with it. The bomb is going to be jumping up towards short. So instead of going B, which was their initial plan, they're going to be making grounds towards A. And plenty of time on the clock. And Navi do like to use the clock. They like to really take their time. So no surprise there. Smoke is going to allow Edward a bit of free reign in middle, but he's not going to push through on his own. It's just reconnaissance. He's figured out there's nobody playing there. And let's see what Navi decide to do. Zeus just pushed up pretty far on his own, and that's probably not advisable. And it's going to be taken out. C's does answer back, though, with that AWP. Picked up from his fallen comrade Guardian, of course. Asmo's on long. Let's see who's going to win this battle. Tags Edward down to 22, but didn't find the frag. Had he found the frag, that was almost the last nail in the coffin, actually, is mTw now looking very strong. 4 plays 2, Season Star X with very bad afterplants because they haven't really got control of anywhere. It's going to be very hard, and it's not going to be doable at all, actually. And they don't win the round, so on Navi's part. So mTw pick up their 4th. And now let's see if they can get 5 and win the pistol and go from there. And then we could see a close game. But Navi on 10 already, it's a strong half. There's no 2 ways about it. And certainly if they get the remaining rounds as well, they're looking extremely good. But if mTw can get this one, we might see a close game. We'll hope so.
Yeah, it's going to be a full buy-up from both teams, including Navi, who have spent quite a lot of money on their setup right now, as I'm sure everyone will have noticed, and are in fact going to be getting a lot of kills, hopefully for them. Well, I guess it doesn't really matter on the money front. It's the last round of the Hound. But we did see this is an AWP favoring map. the Dust 2, and it hasn't actually worked for them so well so far, and that's now the only type of weapon they have left in their arsenal. Not necessarily what you want for assaulting sites, especially with not even a single M4 to back you up or AK. But if you get those picks, if they try and trade those kills, it will still work in your favor. You just need to get that first opening, and as long as mTw just play it safe, play it tight, well, or just kill them, that will work against Na'Vi here. So, can they get this site? Can they hold this? mTw need this round. They really, really do. And it looks like they should be able to get it. Seized is low, though. Edward has swapped out as well, so it's actually now down to a 2-on-2. AK M4 versus AK AWP. Bomb is down. Tagged on Seized. Will they be able to get him down? He's even lower now. Flashing in onto the site. This is the short push. Can they get it? Seized is blind, but he doesn't care once it's worn off. If he doesn't get taken out almost immediately here, it's going to be a horrible position for MNL. He does get that kill, though, and it's Edward left. Can he do anything to stop this defuse? He's going to go for the ninja here. Or is he? He has faked it. He has broken off the defuse, but he can't land the last few bullets, and it is going to be Na'Vi 11 rounds to 4, ending the half in close run but commanding fashion.
Yeah, they were in control the whole way through. I mean, buying so many orbs is just a sign of cockiness, really. You wouldn't see that in a really close match indeed, where, you know, a lot was on the line. You could say a lot is on the line, because whoever loses this is actually out of the tournament. But, you know, it's kind of a sign that Navi just feel very, very confident. And we're going to be going into the second half anyway, straight away. Bear in mind, guys, this is the second map, so if mTw don't buck up their ideas, then they're going to be out of the tournament. And Guardian making it look very easy indeed, picking off 2 just like that. MNL answers back with 1. Can he get a second? Yes, he can. Nice stuff. With that Glock, long range dueling with StarX. Just exchanging shots, but it's going to be Navi's round without too much trouble. Pretty much carrying on where they left off, and it's going to be 4-12 now. They just need a couple of rounds and they're going to be safely through into the playoffs.
Well, a couple of rounds indeed. Do not count your chickens, I suppose I should say, but I have to agree with you at this point. Na'Vi are really far in the lead, and the only thing that could really soften the earth beneath their marching feet seems like it could be hubris. The 4 AWPs nearly lost them that last round, but didn't, which is honestly testament to just how far in advance they are. And Na'Vi right now are actually not doing quite as well as they might perhaps like. They have lost 2 members, get 1 in return. UK, that thinking about going for B once that smoke is gone, as is the rest of mTw. With the exception of Asmo, who is sitting around mid with his P250 in hand. Looks like we're going to be seeing Zeus be the rotator here, if it's going to happen, if the push comes in. It may have been called because he's rushing towards B right now. Actually is going to be coming in. Can Seized get anything here? It's actually looking very, very good for him. He takes a number of kills. Return fire by Krautenhumper with that Deagle, but they just can't finish him off in any reasonable amount of time. They do get it in the end. Darix now is onto the site, but mTw have had enough of this. They are running away. Do they actually even have the time?
Big call, is what I was going to say. And StarX is wise to it. Asmo just needs to take the one-on-one duel now. He's tagged him solo and he finds that frag. So mTw did pick up the round. And that was an eco round. So good stuff from them. That's exactly what they need to kind of jumpstart the comeback here. They're winning the second round is one of the best things you can do to reignite the hope and the possibility of coming back into the second half. So good stuff from them. They're going to be buying up, of course. Now Navi are the ones with the pistols. So very complacent, I've got to say. It's like the way Zeus ran into tunnels there and just kind of crouch sprayed. The way he's playing is like, I'm not even going to bother giving the other team respect because I know I'm going to get the frags. That's how he played that. He just ran out, crouch sprayed, and mTw were able to frag him. So a lot of complacency exuding from Navi's play. You can really tell that they feel like they won this already. So, you know, that could almost come back to bite them if MTW really step up now. They're playing against a team that they're not trying fully. That, you know, MTW might just do something here, but we'll just have to see. They've got the guns. Let's see if they can convert this round smoothly.
Might actually be a bit tricky if they choose to go for this middle straight through doors. And Zeus is right there. He is blinded though, and that's going to be a nice pickup for them. Looking now for the second pick-me-up of the day. A little bit early for that, isn't it? And they are going to be going for the site. B is under their control. They've lost one man, but I really don't foresee Guardian or Eddie restart, as he has apparently changed his name to, doing anything about that at all. Although, it does actually look like they are going to hang around for now. They may not be done yet. I'm a little bit surprised to see NK pushing out like this. Like, what is his angle here? Is he looking to hunt down the 5-7 that Edward?
No, he has to exit from the tunnels, otherwise you take damage. So, or am I wrong in that? Cram's on 19 HP. If he survives this, no, fair enough. They're going to stay in tunnels. So no, they're being pretty careful after all. Navi, on the other hand, what they would like to have done is just get some guns off their opposition there. It's called exit fragging. So you just sit back. Yeah, just for anybody that's not familiar with what they were doing, you know, anybody that's not really seen much Counter-Strike. Basically, they've lost the rounds. They've held their hands up and said, yeah, we've lost it, but if we can steal a gun from you and take that into the next round, then that'd be great. So that's exactly what they were trying to do. It didn't happen for them, and it's going to be 6-12. Asmed's going to spot out StarX here, yeah, long. Just a bit of a firefight. No damage actually exchanged, and Kratom is going to take down StarX with ease, and actually Navi eco again. So they got really stung by losing that round, economically speaking, and they've had to eco twice, and this should 7-12. Let's see if MTW can bring it back, and you know, it's getting a little bit closer, but round by round, MTW looking a little bit stronger, and it's getting closer.
Well, I said don't count your chickens. That is also true of MTW. We've still got a long way to go yet before they can call themselves even on a vaguely even setting here. Certainly are going to get control of B side, so this round should be theirs for the taking. And Navi don't seem to be the types to just let sleeping dogs lie. They don't let rounds out of their grasp if they can possibly avoid it. Economy for the next few and the risks entailed, be damned, they are going to fight for it. This time, though, it seems like this would be a little excessive even for them. Restart doesn't have a lot to save, but that 5-7 is a nice little tool to have in your back pocket. Looks like right now he's going to flash himself and then run onto the side. He does not have any potential to get a defuse, and not really sure what the plan was there, honestly.
Yeah, I don't really know either, but they're going to be bought up. So a big round. Let's see if Navi are going to just put an end to the hope that's been gathering quietly in the corner, the German corner, or are MTW going to continue the form? They're going to continue winning rounds and getting this ever closer. Remember, it's 11-4 at half time, so Navi have only got one round to MTW's 3 in this half, and if they can get this one, they might just force the eco again on Navi's part. So MTW with a chance here of making this an exciting game after all. Let's see if they can step up. Guardian has been equipped with his favourite gun. He's got that AWP. He is in play. Watch out, watch out. He's whilst holding towards long, he's going to be rotating over. Very versatile, and that's so annoying and hard to play against when you're against an AWPer that has great versatility, if I can say it. And he's he's going all around the map. You don't know where he's going to be. You've got to keep trying to guess, and it's just a nightmare to play against. And that's the kind of player Guardian is. So that's why he's, along with just being amazing at AWPing, he's so tricky to play against. But he's got an angle on middle at the moment, and what a flick! Takes down QK Mantis there. He had an angle on the higher areas of mid, and he saw one run by, just flicked him to his doom. Lovely stuff from Guardian. Now 5 plays 4. The Bob's just lurking around middle. MTW not really with any signs of wanting to do anything just yet. As I say that, they push through mid. So let's see if the defense is up to snuff here. Zeus takes down one. Edward's got one. Zeus gets another. Well, the question just got answered there. They well and truly were up to the defense, and the hope just got dashed a little bit. It's probably going to be 13-7.
Yeah, well, at least they have the money to buy again. decent bit of bank from mTw getting those few rounds in a row, and they didn't even have too much damage inflicted by Na'Vi when they were on the eco, so yeah, they've got some breathing room here, but they've got to be so careful. They don't have the rounds to play with is their biggest problem right now, and they need to get picks right at the start. Kreuterhumpen had the chance for 2 shots there, didn't take either of them at the right time, and they're charging onto the B site here. This could be really, really bad for mTw. They are getting slaughtered like cattle, and that is not a good result for them. The bomb is down on the site, but it isn't planted. That being said, NK did just get Guardian, so now it's a 2-on-2 in the area. NK is blind and taken down, so Kreuterhumpen, the last man. He may yet be able to get something, but nope, he is not. There goes the AWP.
Yeah, I mean, that actually came to become a 2-on-2, which is a good situation if they could have got the bomb down, but Navi just didn't give them any room. They're very, very aggressive on the retake. They didn't waste any time, didn't even bother waiting for the clock to run down a little bit, or wait until a bomb planting sound, sorry, got played. Nice kill from Kreuterhumpen, actually, very aggressive from Edward. Maybe a bit of complacency again as Guardian takes down MNL. But yeah, it became a 2-on-2, and as I say, Navi just ran in and got the frags and made it look easy. So once again, Navi in the commanding position, and it's a 4-on-4, having Guardians just got the return frag. But yeah, both AWPs going to work. Like we said, AWPs are very, very important, and we're seeing that now. But Navi, we should mention, are on 14, so they just need one more, and that's going to be match point. So that's at least securing overtime for them. So mTw have to win every single round now to push it to to win it in normal time. If they lose one more, then they're going to be fighting for overtime. So they really are up against it here. Let's see if they've got the resilience to come out on top. Kreuterhumpen with a really nice shot, seized again. He's doing great work, and that's going to allow them to go into the B. It is indeed. They're just going to run in. They know there's nobody there. Or do they? They're going to be halted up a little bit. But yeah, they're going to get the entrance here. And Zeus just peeking on his own. Once again, complacency. I don't like that. You shouldn't face on your own versus 4 just running at you. Bad decision from Zeus. He's made to pay for it. It's going to be a 4 versus 2 situation. I was going to say a retake, but it doesn't look to be. It's going to be a save from Navi. And or is it? Yeah, I reckon it probably is. And I do like that decision. They've got plenty of rounds to work with here. Even though they are feeling very confident and maybe a bit cocky, they should save the guns. They're doing the smart thing. So, good decision for them. And a good round for mTw. It's going to be 8-14.
Yes, indeed. They should, I think by virtue of Na'Vi saving here, they will have enough to equip everyone fairly handsomely. Zeus is going to be bankrolling his team, it seems, with the 9k he's holding on to there. Of course, mTw aren't going to be suffering from any economic issues either, having won the round, got the bomb plant, and not really lost that much for the privilege. So, I think we did just jump through time a little bit via lag. And it's once again mTw on the offensive. They are the T side, obviously, so we'll see if they can get anything done. But losing the first man, never a good sign.
Yeah, another aggressive push from Navi. They went all through tunnels there and got a man into lower. So another unorthodox little play, which certainly worked out from this time round. And we've seen a couple of other frags there. Guardian's gone to work. Starix is just taking down Asmo long. That's going to make it a 1 versus 4. And this should be the second to last nail in the coffin, as Navi will be sitting on the fine number that is 15 if you're playing or supporting them. And, that means you've secured overtime at the very least. So mTw with a lot to do here. And I honestly can't really see it happening. I know it sounds a bit pessimistic, but in realistic terms, it's not looking likely. And it's going to be 8-15. Now, mTw need to win every single round just to force overtime, and their money isn't great either. So they're going to be scraping a buy here and going with that. But, yeah, Navi all through this series have looked very, very good. So they certainly deserve the win. mTw have given us a little bit more in Dust 2. But once again, Navi's certainly the better team, and they've been in the commanding position since round 1 virtually.
Yeah, motto to live by: do not poke a sleeping dragon in the eye. Na'Vi woke up and they have just consumed what was left of mTw like they were biscuits. That's going to be the round, that's going to be the map, that's going to be the match. And